A Richmond man has been sentenced to 14 years in prison for setting a fire that killed his son and mother-in-law more than 3 years ago. As the CBC's Tina Lovegreen reports tonight, the court heard there had been a pattern of threatening behavior in the days and hours before the blaze.
Threatening, violent, and spiteful, those are just some of the words the judge used to describe Surjit Dosanjh's behavior leading up to the fire. The 40-year-old man from Richmond has been convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 14 years in prison for setting a fire that killed his son and mother-in-law. It happened in April of 2015. It was in the middle of the night when flames broke out at a fourplex. Dosanjh's mother-in-law and teenage son were asleep in bunk beds that they shared down the hall. Neighbours called 911, and despite the efforts of firefighters, his mother-in-law and son died of carbon monoxide poisoning. But the story goes back further than that. A BC Supreme Court justice says that a woman had ended a long-term relationship with Dosanjh a month before the fire. She can't be named by court order, but the judge found that his demeanor changed after that. The sentencing reads, he was angry. His comments and behaviors when interacting with both the woman and others were erratic, irrational, and threatening. It also says that his behavior grew more volatile a day or so before the fire, and that he had broken a window of his mother-in-law's car and shouted at a police officer over the phone. 8 hours before the fire, the woman told police she was scared of Dosanjh and took her toddler to a safe house. The judge believes that Dosanjh didn't know that his son would be at the house because the plan was for him to sleep at his grandfather's. The judge ruled that his repeated intimidating behavior aggravated his sentence. Dosanjh will spend just over 9 years behind bars with credit for time served. Tina Lovegreen, CBC News, Vancouver.